Hi everybody, welcome to Fast Coasters. This is going to be my first time lapse for my new park in Planet Coaster 2. With Planet Coaster 1, I always did just POVs, and they got good views, but I think I could do more with time lapses and showing you how I build these coasters. So this park is going to be called Pachuca Park. It is going to have a lot of coasters. It's going to be like a Cedar Point or a Carowinds. It's going to have a water park too. I'll show you how I build the slides, but probably not the. I'm not going to record everything because I like to have some stuff done off camera too, so I could relax and I could focus on what I'm doing. Speaking of focusing on what I'm doing, the lift hills in this game for the GCI specifically are broken, as you can see. I'm trying to fiddle with it and trying to get it to work, but the lift hill supports just are not generating. So I thought I would just build the whole thing unsupported and then try to resupport it later. That obviously wouldn't work, but I thought it was worth a try. So this is going to be the first coaster in the park. It's going to be a GCI Woody, as you could see. I wanted to do like more of like an old school layout, more twisty. Um, like the old Wildcat or like Roar at Six Flags America, like one of the early layouts. Didn't want to do anything too over the top or too crazy. I thought this would be a good starter coaster for the Let's Play series. Um, all these episodes are also going to be unscripted. I don't come in with a script prepared because I think I would sound probably really fake and probably robotic. So we're not going to do that. Obviously, you can see here with the airtime hills, it's not a long layout. I had to come back to the station pretty quickly. I was more concerned about that lift hill, but I thought it was just a nice starter coaster for the park. It didn't need to be overly long. Like I said, I didn't want to do too much with it. I didn't want it to be just a gigantic monster like Woden or something. So it's just a very, you know what, I it's probably similar to like American Thunder at Six Flags St. Louis. It's not, it's a little bit bigger, as you can see with the supports. The supports look good in the game, but obviously this lift hill, it's just not working. I put in a report to Frontier, but who knows when they're gonna fix that. We got a new update coming in December, but I'm hoping with a hot fix, maybe they could fix that before. So it's going. This I always do the initial test just to make sure it goes through the layout before I start smoothing it. Uh, and to my surprise, it actually did not make it through the layout. So it goes through these elements, and then when it gets up to the big high turn, like Wildcat, the original, it does not make it up. So instead of messing with the friction and having to be unrealistic, I shortened that turn just a teeny bit, and then I made the lift hill a lot bigger because it made it through, but it went over pretty slowly. So I wanted to have come through with more speed, so I extended the lift hill to about 140 feet. So it was a little bit bigger than I anticipated it being, but that works. I like the bigger coasters better than little coasters. I noticed in a Planet Coaster 1, it's a lot harder to make smaller coasters just because of the friction and how that works. But I think the friction's a lot better in this game, especially with the wood coasters. In the first game, it probably wouldn't have even made it to that point, even with this height. So as you can see, it made it through the layout with good speed. So then I smooth it, and the smoothing in this game is great. It's a lot faster. This would have taken me like maybe 10 minutes. Just the way I smooth it, I usually take 3 track pieces at a time, and I would go through twice, one forward, one back. Now I could just do that automatically. So that worked out great. I'm trying to get the sight lines here perfect. Repositioning the coaster in the spot I wanted it to be. I want it to be in like a little wooded coaster, wooded corner of the park. Have it be very like behind the trees. And so this is the run through with the POV. I do a POV just to see how the smoothing is, and I also time it for this block zones and make sure the trains come out at the right time so we don't get stuck on the lift hill. I know there's some creators they don't really like do that. Sometimes like you load a park and everything's getting stuck on the lift hill, it's getting stuck on the brake run. I downloaded actually a slide from another creator on the Steam Workshop, and it didn't even make it up the slide. So I don't know how that wasn't tested beforehand, but oh well. So I put the name of this as Plymouth. It's really a placeholder name. I'm not really too happy with it. So if you guys have any name suggestions, I'd love for you to put your name suggestions, and I could maybe utilize that in this build, because Plymouth it's okay, but it's not really the the coaster name I want for this. Again, it's more of like a wooded setting. It's very generic theme. This isn't going to be a highly themed park. This is going to be more like an amusement park. Again, like a Carowinds or a Cedar Point. We are going to add a flat ride in this build as well. But let's talk about the pathing tool. So the pathing tool, I use a draw tool just to make a random shape. I don't like how you have to make it like a complete circle. I wish you could make it like a half circle. And the rails, I wish that was able to be I could select that easier, like Planet Coaster 1. I could just hit one button instead of having to click through a couple menus. I don't really hate the UI that much, but it could do with some improvement, and I think it's going to get improvement with the new update coming next month. The queue, people are complaining about cattle pen queues, how you can't do cattle pen queues. I never really like doing cattle pen queues because I hate waiting in them, so I don't really like doing them in my parks because I like more scenery and just winding around. The station's going to be a very simple, straightforward station. Just a regular, wooden coaster stations are pretty easy to do. So I just did, what any typical wood coaster would have. The wooden walls, a wooden roof, and some just subtle lighting. And that works. I added some windows to it just for like theming and scenery purposes so it doesn't look like a plain wooden box. But I think so I did build the park entrance in off camera, and I did build part of the water park entrance. And I think the park entrance looks really good. The theme I'm trying to go for with this park is it's King Coaster's hometown. So there's going to be a lot of like statues of him throughout the park, especially with the park entrance. You'll notice when I show that off in the next episode that there are a couple statues of him. And I couldn't really figure out the park entrance, but I think I did it really good. It's sort of like a clock tower, but surprisingly they don't have a clock in this game. So I had to download a custom clock off the Frontier Workshop. And the scenery brush is amazing. I love the scenery brush. It saves so much time, makes things look so much better, so much more realistic. Just put the trees anywhere. I'm deleting these because I'm anticipating that eventually this is going to have a supported lift hill. I'm guessing whenever they fix the bug, it'll go in. Now we're going to be adding the Overpower, which is the Huss Topspin flat ride. I want to add a Huss Topspin. It's a cool looking ride. They're fun too. I did Twister at Great Adventure this past weekend. They're not anything incredible. At least that one wasn't. But, it's fun. Now here is when I tried to figure out the cattle pen queue line, and I just could not do it. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. It looked horrible, as you could see. So I just thought, you know what? The rounded edges are fine. Just put some trees around it, and it'll do. So, and I wouldn't anticipate this one getting that big of a line in the park anyway. Maybe the wood coaster would probably be like 10 minutes. This would probably have no wait. Twister at Great Adventure never has a wait. It's probably why they're removing it. But I wanted to make it, with this queue, I wanted to make it more of a wooded setting. And yeah, so if you have any suggestions for how this series is going to go, please let me know. This is my first time doing like a time-lapse series, especially with Planet Coaster. I've never really done a voiceover from my parks before. I usually like just building the coasters and then putting the POVs out, but I think this will be a lot better. I think it'll be more interactive. I think I'll get a lot more views of it. I think I'll get a lot more fans. So that's good because I want this channel to grow. I want, to get bigger in the community. So as you see the sign upside down, but I'm liking the custom word options. Not this sign specifically, but they do have like custom lettering that you would get off the TMTK in the old Planet Coaster. I like how Nerd Chacho had this idea with the wait time signs because we could scale the sign down. So I'm gonna have that for all the coasters because parks usually have that wait time. So we're coming to the end of the time lapse now. With this part, I wanted to just make sure, the scenery. If you look at Roar at Six Flags America, how it looks really overgrown at the exit and just really bad. I kind of wanted it to be overgrown a little bit with those bushes in the front. So yeah, that's basically it for this coaster. So the next episode, we're going to be building a B&M floorless. Every episode is going to have a roller coaster. Anything else will be done in between. I'll be able to show you that. So it'll have a B&M floorless. And for future episodes, I want to do like a mock hyper coaster and I want to do a strata coaster, an intimate accelerated coaster, a regular B&M stand up, and I want to do a Vekoma tilt coaster as well. I think that'll look really cool in this park. And a water park options, I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with the water park yet, but definitely some slides. I don't anticipate it being too big. It's in a little corner in the back of the park. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this time lapse. This is my first one, so if you guys have any suggestions, you could let me know in the comments section. But yeah, just finishing up with the lighting, and that's it for the wood coaster. It's not really too themed. This is about an hour of work this took. With the station here, I added these lights earlier, but I didn't like how it lit it up. Obviously you can't see anything in the station, and I couldn't really find the light that I wanted, like a hanging light that would light it up perfectly. So I just added just generic, these Planet Coaster wall lights. Those work, they lit up the station. And coaster lighting, it's not as good as the old one. So, see you guys. Just didn't want to end it too abruptly. Didn't really focus on my timing there, but thank you for watching. I hope you continue to watch the rest of the series. Episodes will come out pretty frequently. And next episode is going to be a B&M Flawless Coaster, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Any suggestions for the name of the wood coaster, you can put in the comments. As you can see, I already named the top spin Mr. Twister. I like that name. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.